They've still got a couple of units of Keshiks on the defense there for Plebs. Not so many though, actually not as many as I thought they might have taken. There's only 2 sets, and that's pretty interesting because before the first set, but there's and there it goes.
And that Falconetti that we just saw in the new did there as the
on that Siege Tower, which will probably stop it. Yep, there we are.
There we go. Yeah, so what have you, just constantly keeping that damage up, not just sitting there waiting for your cannon to reload and then.
So Eden already at a disadvantage here in terms of numbers and that extra units that he would have had with him. So
they've managed to get 1 siege tower down. Temple and the Plebs are going to have to draw their attention to that siege tower because there is a torrent of blue units pushing up.
So what they're doing is they're going to try and keep both sides pushed evenly here from Plebs and kind of stop them in like a little alleyway and filter them into that one spot. But so many Eden players pushing up and moving forward
really
here.
So run for A here, and
moving towards A.
Towards away from A, that means they could really turn their attention.
And we zoom in a little closer to that little A area point where the majority of that fight is going, and we actually have a close fight to see what units we've got fighting. We've got Modal on the point here from Plebs for sure, with a couple of units of IPGs by the looks of it at the back, and Falconet is trying to use their short range that are remaining. You've got Javelin Sergeants at the back there from Plebs, just firing in, slowly keeping them there.
One set of Pleb Modals still on the point on
Sneakily, you see some Plebs coming out at the front gate there, just underneath us there. They were coming out with some cavalry, because people are going to spawn. All the people that have just died from Eden are going to be spawning outside here, so these cav will be able to grab them and pick them up. If there's 20 seconds here to try and push, and at this point in time, it's going to take that long for their infantry to even get up that siege tower there that I think push up the stairs here. But they have defended the top of that stairwell and the siege tower pretty well there. There's Modals and
there's set up.
Grape shots all set up, yeah.
Brutal. That is not a spot that you'd.
Brent came and dismounts off his horse into the ground, flies off the edge of the wall there.
Don't worry, Brent. No one saw it. That's cool. Right back. You get another go at that. That's fine. Don't worry.
Dog Lover also having to jump off with his horse, but not trying to get
Magna
to where
on the wrong side of Pleb right now. Magna's in the.
It is in the mountain of culverins that they brought out here to take down pretty much every single siege tower, bar that left side one that was the only one to ever reach. It definitely makes a difference in terms of how much time and how much you can do in the battle if you don't make the trebs.
Rotating around, and this time we'll be back for Harbour City once again, but Plebs on attack, and you can see that one siege tower that made it. You can see the heat map there. There was a lot of carnage.
Still kind of moving their units around, so I'm not entirely sure exactly what they're all kind of going out with here. But like the defense, they've only got a couple of units of Keshiks out there, but more Modals pikes and a couple of sets of Falconettis here as well. So potentially going to use the Falconettis up close and personal.
He smells blood in the water.
Yep.
And
then like, that actually might reach. They're pushing it with Martello Torre, so it's got that extra health, it's got that extra speed. It is managing to reach, and Eden.
There we go.
Have not managed to take down anything here. Yes.
Hammer boys.
Far right siege tower might make it too.
Yeah, this is.
Eden haven't defended it.
Looks like
of movement around the map.
Uncle's making a run for it. I just threw himself off the wall there to try and get themselves back to. I think he's moving to a supply point.
Yeah, the short bow. That's one thing that really irritates me when I'm on artillery is just seeing a
health. I'm gonna be here forever.
Oh, you say that, but you'll still take them out.
You'll get it eventually. So, but then you just see like a glaive user storm in and hit it in 4, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, thanks.
Also,
and look at those grape shots
from the small gate and set up tons of grape shots and ballistas here. So they're looking to pick up as many hero kills as possible here. But they're 1 for 1 at the moment. Well, it slowly whittles down.
There's some Syphos coming in. Slide QT's is pushing ahead, trying to get those Syphos. They are very, very vulnerable. They do a lot of damage, but they're
full 15 pushing from this side here, from Plebs here, trying to use all that artillery and
Hydra with the Modals, trying to hold the line. And Neurotic on the side as well, bringing in some units.
That was a nice IPG march there to stop that cav, and then also the amount of grape shots they're stopping any of the damage. Yeah, we can hear each other. Okay. You can hear me, yeah? Go on.
Yep, all good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so there we go. You got Plebs coming in, well, Eden coming in now there with Keshiks around the back and also around the front and killing a few heroes there. Picked up a couple of the Plebs players with the, no doubt, hitting that 2 ability. And
it looks like Eden are sort of really mounting a pretty strong pushback here to try and force the Plebs back. But I mean, that was a huge chunk of Eden's units that Plebs took out there. They got a bunch of artillery down. They made a really nice spot. I guess now the emphasis for Plebs is just to get away, make a clean getaway.
You want to keep
coming in.
Overwhelmed by Eden near the end there, as they're obviously closer to the supply point, can get a different set of units and then resupply themselves and come back at the Plebs.
Here they come. There's a big push there coming through.
So you got Modals, you got an IPG march there. You can hear in the background them big heavy feet march the right hand side stairwell here. So I think what they're going to try and do is try and force them to come and defend that stairwell and then pushing from the gate. At the moment in time, it doesn't look like it's as coordinated there for Eden. I think Eden did it the wrong way. Plebs did it the wrong way around there, pushed in the gate first and should have pushed the stairwell first, in my opinion. But
it looks like they might be able to sort of collapse on Brent and the sort of few warlords that are there. The heroes.
Oh, you hear that cav charging.
Yep.
That wipes out pretty much that gate push though. Like the gate side's free. Most of the heroes and the units are dead there, and they're just going to get flanked now from behind.
There's a couple of dual blades here looking in, but I don't know if they're going to be able to pick anyone off in a position that that could turn the tide. I don't know if there's.
I just genuinely think there's that many Keshiks in there that that dual blade will just get caught out and you have to run away. There's no way of fighting inside that. He did pick up Namio though, Amia, well did from Namia. And then Varric, so there's 2 heroes.
So that's 13 to 12. So Plebs they're sort of bringing the numbers back down to a slightly more level.
Numbers are catching up in terms of heroes. When you look at the map just now, it looks like more blue in the sort of main area where the fights are going on. And they push towards the supply point here. So if they can grab the supply point and stop the heroes getting on it, that might be a change in a turn of the fight here. But
yeah, I think Sixes wants to.
You can see Jarrett coming in with cavalry there though. He's coming around Liddy for the push.
Yep, I can see those coming in.
Good fight here on the supply point as Keshiks run over the supply point and no doubt hit the 2 ability and wipe all the heroes that were on it.
That's it. Very powerful. That's Eden securing that supply point. Get the foot in the door. Make sure they're
the moment as well. And as you can see here, 3 of them are out completely. Yeah. 4 now. There's 4. Dunkel just went down 2. They're capping home. Go and have a quick scan at home there. It was capping for a second there.
Over there. Sixes
one of the sneaky dual blade.
You take your eye off a dual blades for 1 second.
The way around. He is a very good killer though, so he's probably needed in the front line picking up all these hero kills. But
looks like Temple Shot and Co are making a push, another push for the supply point. But again, you can see these Keshiks rounding the corner. If they get a full charge off on a front line, then that's bad news. That's bad news for the Plebs. They're going to be in real trouble.
I think here Plebs they're grouped up so well that I think they're going to be too strong here to kind of be stopped pretty much from Eden here at this point. I think they've got really that many heroes and that many units there in comparison. So they'll manage to grab the supply point.
There we go. You can see they're going for both supply points at the same time. Is Jarrett going to be able to get there in time?
Eden's going to retreat and have to retreat for a bit. So that's just going to slow them down a little bit. That's the only supply point that they can get any units for, and at the advantage in terms of units and heroes.
There's a trebuchet strike coming in as well. They've got those artillery going down.
Yep.
There
comes ballistas, some grape shots.
I'm a little biased, but I think they're just great.
That's a good push from Plebs here. I think Plebs have...
They're giving Eden a hard time.
Definitely capping it as well for a second there. Well, none of the heroes were on the defense.
And they're, those muskets, they're agile. They can put some caltrops down and just generally disrupt the defenders, make it harder for them to get.
A couple of short swords in the back there are trying to take out the artillery
that
here.
That is in a real blob. If those Keshiks aren't on the move ASAP, they're going to be in trouble.
I think you can only get like 2 shots into that area though because of the wall, so you may be all right in terms of that. But yeah, they've managed to just hold their Eden. Eden have got a few units in. But there's still a good push coming from
9 against
Plebs
10. There's still not a great deal in it. There's 218 units for Eden. That number's going down every second.
Trying to pre-treb that hallway there as well, just in case units start getting onto the point.
There we go. We look at the units now. A lot of purples on the side of Plebs there. Still some very potent units on the field.
They have less than 2 minutes now here to cap. We have only about 40 seconds on the point, and probably needed to take the point as well. So if they can get these hero kills, it might be the end of Eden already. Might see the end of it, but we'll wait and see here. There's a couple of shots are still fighting their way onto the point and constantly stopping it. Brent Gaming in the back. You've also got what's that, vasectomy? Vasectomy. That's a pretty interesting name for a short circuit.
Dog Lover's just intercepted that artillery going down, and
so many units on the point now for Plebs, so that might be what stops any of these short circuits surviving long enough. Slowly, Amya, you can see this, the Dual Blaze trying to do as much damage to the short sword as possible here.
On the flank, just trying to get his body on the point there for a second, but it's not going to be enough. Look at that.
There's only one hero left on the point, and he's a
blob.
musket. He won't survive long enough.
Those
47 seconds.
Forward tough. No, there we go. And Magna as well.
GG to Plebs. That is fantastic.
Storming at the last second.
Okay, so Eden's did win the EU1 server, but Plebs showed them up here, winning the attack and the defense here against Eden. Amya picking up 4 hero kills, like we thought he would at some point, start picking up some hero kills. But you also have its magic.
Figure out what was going on, and that then in turn, I think, gave Plebs enough of breathing room to sort of push back against Eden and snowball that.